I was browsing Reddit some weeks back, and I noticed a post on the front page of the Destiny subreddit. When I think extended mag with greatly increased magazine size, I do not think that means 3 extra bullets. The post reached 5.2k upvotes, and there was plenty of discussion in the comments. I had just finished a deep dive into Bungie's API, and the reason for this behavior is not straightforward. I left a write-up explaining the behavior, and a couple of Redditors asked me to make this into its own post. Here is how weapon stats work. Every stat on your weapon has a hidden layer and a presentation layer. The stats that you see in-game, in dim, and in light.gg are the presentation layer. This is what visibly affects your weapon's behavior. If your weapon has a magazine size of 33, it has 33 bullets in the mag. Simple. Behind the presentation layer resides the hidden layer. The hidden layer for every stat is on a scale of 0 to 100. In the case of sniper rifles, a hidden layer magazine value of 100 correlates to a presentation layer magazine value of 7. Or in plain English, sniper rifles cap out at 7 bullets in the chamber. The hidden layer and the presentation layer are related to each other through an interpolation function. The purpose of this function is to map a 0-100 value in the hidden layer to a usable presentation layer value. Every weapon family has its own set of interpolation functions for each and every stat. It is these interpolation functions that you should center your focus on. These functions will tell you how different mods and buffs will affect your gun. So far, I have mentioned the hidden layer stats and the interpolation functions, but how do we see them? The presentation layer is trivial. Go look in dim or light.gg. But even dim and light.gg don't show you the hidden layer or the interpolation functions. In order to see these functions and values, we must peer into the matrix and look directly at the API. You will need a tool to view the API. I use the Destiny Data Explorer provided by destinysets.com. This will let you begin looking at raw data in the API. To search for your weapon, set the database table to Destiny Inventory Item Definition and search for your weapon. Here we can see basic information about the gun, like its name and flavor text, but that's not what we're after right now. Let's have a look at the gun's stats. Bungie provides the gun's pre-calculated presentation layer stats under Stats. To see the gun's hidden layer stats, look under Investment Stats. These are the gun's true stats before being pushed through their respective interpolation functions. Now, let's look at the interpolation functions for this weapon family. Bungie doesn't show all the interpolation functions for every stat, but we can view a handful. The value field corresponds to the hidden layer value, and the weight field corresponds to the presentation layer value. We can represent this interpolation function on a graph by plotting the data points and connecting the dots. Using these graphs, we can predict how different stat buffs from different perks will affect our weapon. With this information, we can make interesting conclusions. Looking at the interpolation function for the magazine stat on sniper rifles, we can see that the graph is very irregular. There are places where boosts to the magazine stat give little or nothing, and places with huge jumps in value. Let's consider the Ikelos sniper rifle. The Ikelos sniper rifle has a hidden layer magazine value of 90. Right away, we can see that we're only 10 stat points away from hitting the cap at 100. This means that Tactical Mag will cap out your Ikelos sniper rifle and reward you with a huge boost of 2 whole bullets. What about Long Shadow? Long Shadow has a hidden layer magazine value of 50, which means that you can put on an appended mag and backup mag to give plus 50 to the magazine and cap it out at 100, thus rewarding you with 7 whole bullets. One final thing to leave you with. If you have ever looked up Accurized rounds, you will know that it gives plus 10 range, but Dim says it only gives 9 range. What gives? What is happening here is the interpolation function for range for most weapon families looks like this. This means that range is actually on a scale of 10 to 100 and not 0 to 100. Or in other words, for every 10 points invested in the hidden layer, you get 9 in the presentation layer. That is all for now. Subscribe to see my future videos and head on over to Ishtar Academy on Reddit. Currently, it is a new subreddit, and I hope that one day I will see it full of other Destiny scientists and researchers. I will have more soon. Goodbye.